Let us see this question number 1.8 of NCERT chapter 1. Two charges 3 microcoulomb and minus 3 microcoulomb are located 20 centimeter apart in vacuum. So we have shown in the diagram plus 3 microcoulomb and minus 3 microcoulomb at A and B. Total distance is 20 centimeter. Our target is that we have to find the electric field at the midpoint. So let us mark the midpoint as O. So AO distance x, OB distance also x. So x is actually half, that means 10 centimeter. We will be using it in meter. So 0.1 meter. Now we have to find the net electric field at point O. So first of all, here we will find the individual electric fields. We can call them E1 and E2 also, or let us call them EOA and EOB. EOA means electric field at point O due to A charge, and EOB means electric field at O due to B charge. First of all, let us find the directions. How we have got these directions? So we have to assume unit positive charge to find the electric field direction. Wherever this unit positive charge will go, that is the direction of electric field. So at point O, we will place plus charge. We will consider one charge at a time. That means due to plus 3 microcoulomb, where this plus will go. So this plus will get repelled. That's why the EOA direction is this side. Now consider minus 3 microcoulomb. Due to this minus 3 microcoulomb, where this plus will go, it will get attracted. So EOB direction or E2 direction is also in the same direction. So both are towards right side. So EOB and EOA both are in the same direction. So whenever two vectors are in the same direction, their resultant how to get? By simply adding them. That's why our net electric field E is EOA plus EOB. Now we have to put the magnitudes of both of them. So KQ upon distance square is the formula. So K means 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. QA upon distance square and QB upon distance square, they are added. So QA and QB both are same, 3 microcoulomb and 3 microcoulomb. So we will put here 3 plus 3. For micro we have put here 10 raised to power minus 6. So micro means 10 raised to power minus 6, and distance x is 10 centimeter or 0.1 meter. So we have to put all these values in the E answer. So this way we have obtained the answer. Remember one thing, that we don't have to use the sign of the charge here. That means plus 3 microcoulomb, and here also we will use plus 3 microcoulomb only, because it has been also discussed before that for vector quantities we don't take the sign of the charge, we only take the directions of electric fields, individual electric fields. So this way electric field is achieved. Second part is one negative charge of this value is placed at the center. Find the force. So at this O point we are placing this charge. So at O point this new charge and whatever electric field is present, that will be multiplied to get the force, because force formula is new charge into old electric field. New charge is what we have brought here and electric field which we have obtained just now. So this way the force will be obtained. Now force direction, how it is found? If the charge is positive, then electric field and force are in the same direction, but here the charge is negative given, test charge is negative given. So opposite to electric field, force will be. So electric field is towards OB, so force will be towards OA. Okay, let us see question number 1.9. this is about dipole system. So here in this question we have two charges QA and QB. Both are equal but opposite. Minus sign is written. The positions are of the two charges 0, 0, minus 15 and 0, 0, plus 15. We can draw a diagram to show this system. So minus Q plus Q are located at 0, 0, minus 15 and 0, 0, plus 15. You can see that 0, 0 means x and y axis is 0. So that means the dipole is at the z axis. Minus 15 and plus 15 are the z axis value. That means the origin 0, 0, 0 will be coming in between the two charges. Now question is asked, what are the total charge and electric dipole moment of the system? So total charge is minus Q plus Q. That means the net charge is 0. First answer is this. And electric dipole moment means electric dipole moment is denoted by P symbol, and P equal to Q into 2A or Q into total distance. So Q means charge value which is given in the question, and total distance. So you can see total distance between the charges is 15 plus 15, because minus 15 to 0 and 0 to 15. So total distance is 30. So that's why we will use here 30 centimeter means 0.3 meter. So finally we have two values substituted here. This way P is obtained. The unit of P is always coulomb meter, and the direction of P, that means dipole moment, is always from negative charge to positive charge. So this way dipole moment is obtained. In question number 10, it is written, an electric dipole with dipole moment this is aligned at 30 degree with direction of uniform field which is of this value. Calculate torque. So torque formula we have already derived in the last sheet. So torque is PE sin theta formula. P is also given, dipole moment. E means electric field given, and sin theta, theta is given 30 degree. Using these values we can obtain torque, and torque unit is always Newton into meter, because its basic formula is force into perpendicular distance. So Newton into meter. Now let us see question number 11. A polythene piece is rubbed with wool, and polythene is found to have negative charge of this value. Estimate number of electrons transferred from which to which, and is there a transfer of mass from wool to polythene? So we can see this diagram. Polythene and wool are rubbed, and polythene piece is found to have negative charge. So polythene is negative, that means wool is positive. That means wool has lost electrons. So some number of electrons are shifted from wool to polythene. Suppose that number of electrons are n. So total charge is Ne. So this is equation which is relating E and total charge Q. This equation we call quantization of charge. So Q equal to Ne means N is Q by E. Whenever this number of electrons is asked, what you do? Put this Q value here, whatever charge is given, and divide it by E. E is always fixed, 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19, which is the charge of one electron. So dividing Q by E, we always get the number of electrons. Then it is asked, is there any transfer of mass from wool to polythene? So you can see yes, because from wool to polythene some electrons are shifting. So if n electrons are shifting, so n into mass of one electron. So n we have already obtained, and mass of one electron is always 9.1 into 10 raised to power minus 31 kg. Using these values we can obtain the mass shifted. We can call it delta m. So from wool to polythene, because the electrons are shifting, so each electron is carrying some mass, so mass is also shifting. Question number 1.2. Here we have two insulated copper spheres A, B, have their centers separated by distance 0.5. What is the mutual force of repulsion if the charge on each is this? Radii of both spheres are negligible. What is the force if each sphere is charged double and distance them is halved and two spheres are placed in water? Now, first of all, it is asked about force. So force F equal to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. This K means 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. It is always 9 into 10 raised to power 9 value. Q1 Q2 both are given and the distance between both is given 0.5. This way we have obtained the old force. Now the question is about that if the charge is doubled and separation is halved, so what will be the new force? So we can see simply, if charge is doubled, so 2q1 2q2, distance is halved. So this way if we take all these multiples, so it will give us 16 factor of the old force. So that means the new force becomes here 16 times. So old force value into 16, we will obtain the new force value. Second part of the question is, two spheres are placed in water. So here it is this question is about the medium change. So you can see that every time in the force formula this epsilon 0 terms comes. This epsilon 0 terms comes whenever the medium is air. So we can see that this force is inversely proportional to epsilon 0 terms. So when we write the force in medium, F medium, then epsilon will come in denominator, and when we write the force in air, then in the denominator epsilon 0 will come. Other factors will remain the same. So if we divide F medium upon F air, finally epsilon 0 upon epsilon will be left. And since this epsilon is epsilon 0 into epsilon r, so only epsilon r will be left. So F medium is always F air upon epsilon r. So that's why F medium, here the medium is water. So force in water is force in air upon epsilon r. Force in air we have already obtained 1.52 into 10 raised to power minus 2. We have to divide it with the dielectric constant epsilon r. For water it is 80. Use this 80 value. So force in the medium will be obtained. So it is very simple. Whenever the force in vacuum or air is given and the question is asked that find the force in the medium, then what you do? Force in air divided with epsilon r. So force in air divided by epsilon r is always the force in medium. So you have to remember this formula for further questions also.